Take it away, Megster.
Alrighty, welcome everybody. We're so glad that you're able to join us tonight. I am so excited about this topic and the healthy living reset, and I want to introduce my good friends on here that are going to be sharing their stories and the knowledge of gut health. And I want to start off with my good friend Melanie Hurley. She's a wife, mom, and mamel to everyone who loves her, especially her best friend Ruby, her 5-year-old granddaughter. Melanie was a homeschool mom for 20 years. She's led women's ministry at our church and before being called to this new ministry, restoring health, vibrant health and finances, igniting joy in everyone she meets along the way. And then also I want to introduce Mindy. She is a wife and a mom to 5-year-old Ruby. And a transplant from Chicago suburbs. Mindy has been a pediatric nurse for 15 years, specializing in the NICU and the pediatric emergency medicine. She is passionate in helping moms and families find a way to improve their health and maybe even sneak a few fruits and vegetables into those picky kid diets. So take it away, you guys.
Thank you. All right, so we are going to share screen.
Then we're going to hit view.
Yes, we are. Slideshow?
Yes, ma'am. Here we are.
Can everybody see that?
Yep.
All right, well, welcome to our Vibrant Health Reset Zoom. And what we're learning about is healthy gut, healthy life. And Nurse Mindy's going to take us through a lot of this, but I'll be helping along the way. But she's doing all the sciencey stuff.
All right. So why does gut health matter? And I'm going to get rid of these pictures.
Yeah. You know, I talk to people sometimes and I tell them we're going to be doing this and they're like, my gut's fine.
Mm-hmm. And what they mean is, I'm not so constipated that I'm going to die.
I'm not currently in the ER dealing with something about my gut. So I think that people in our country don't understand what it is, how important it is. And I know one thing I want to say, has anybody ever been on an antibiotic one time?
Yeah.
Then you messed your gut up right there, that alone.
Yep. So our gut does so many things, and the research is really just now starting to figure that out. And I suspect it's kind of like scratching the surface of a giant glacier, and there's so much of it under the water still that we don't have a clue about. But we know it impacts mental health. They're starting to call the gut our second brain. We know it impacts immunity and immune function. And so sometimes when we get sick, it's because of poor gut health, not because you were exposed to cooties, because you're exposed to stuff every day.
How much of our immune system do they say lives in the gut?
It's somewhere in the ballpark of 80%. It's a lot, way more than half. It impacts our sleep. It obviously impacts our digestion. I think we all know that. But then it impacts our skin health too, because so much detox is supposed to happen there. And if it's not happening in our gut, then one of our backup ways of detox is through our skin. And that's not always pretty.
No. How do I get the next slide?
Maybe it's down.
Oh,
I clicked, that worked. Okay, we're learning. So, some symptoms of poor gut health. And we know, I think the bloating and the gas and the constipation and the diarrhea are maybe obvious to some of us at least. But then it gets a little more sneaky. Heartburn is a symptom of poor gut health. Heartburn is not normal.
So I thought heartburn was just I ate Italian food.
Heartburn really has very little to do with tomatoes or spice or anything other than gut health. So that's a big one. Weight gain or weight loss is a big one.
I know. That's too bitter.
Sleep issues, because a lot of the chemicals that are made for your brain are made in your gut. And so if your gut is not making the appropriate chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, then your sleep is going to be all screwed up.
And your mood's not going to be so great either.
No. And then skin irritation and acne, like we were saying, that's one of the ways our body detoxes when its primary detox systems are not working. And that makes acne and breakouts and psoriasis and all sorts of stuff. Autoimmune issues, because so much of our immune function is in the gut, our lack of immune function is a symptom. And then mood disorders and brain fog too. So why does all this matter? Health begins in the gut. 70 million Americans suffer from digestive diseases, and it costs $100 billion with a B in dollars in medical bills annually. That's crazy. What if we could fix some of this for people? Like, we could save people a substantial amount of money. Your gut hosts between 500 and 2,000 species of microorganisms. So that's bacteria, yeast, parasites, viruses. We have a lot of little friends that live in our gut, and we need to take good care of them.
Oh, there's that statistic.
There,
I jumped the gun.
60 to 80% of our immune function comes from our gut. We are more bacteria than human. We have 10 times the microbe cells than the human cells.
That's crazy.
It's so crazy. And more than 40 diseases have been linked to bacterial imbalances in the gut: depression, arthritis, IBS, and cancer.
So arthritis should be on that list.
It should.
Wow.
So this is why being kind to our gut matters. It improves heart health. You can increase the levels of good cholesterol and reduce the levels of bad cholesterol. Does anybody want that? Right?
Yes, please.
You can reduce the risk of chest pain and heart attacks. It helps to control your blood sugar, and we're going to talk more about that, which therefore reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes. We can reduce the number of harmful bacteria in the intestines, reduce the risk of IBS, improve digestion, reduce constipation, improve liver health,
Wow.
improve symptoms of depression, reduce the risk of dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yes, please.
Right? Improve immune function, reduce autoimmune risk, help weight loss, reduce the risk of cancer, improve your health, and basically make you prettier, and improve your mood and energy.
I'd be shocked if you couldn't all find yourself on there somewhere.
Right?
And something that you want to improve. And if you're like me, I'm shocked that that all begins in the gut.
Yes.
Well, now.
So now I just want to really simplify it.
I was going to say that for you, but
Thank
you beat
you.
me to it, because we just want to break it down into the simple facts.
Yes. Gut health is really very simple, right? No wonder people are confused.
Memorize this. There will be a quiz.
Yeah. So we're going to quiz you on this at the end. And butyrate and acetate and propionate.
Peristalsis.
Yeah. All of this. And so I put this on here partially because it's funny, but I mean, like, no wonder we're confused. This is why it's confusing, because this is some of the stuff that's going on in your gut. And then this is some of the stuff that's going on in your gut.
In case I didn't simplify it enough.
Right. Then this really, just narrows it right down to what you need to do. And so I just say this to encourage you. Like, it is confusing, but we're going to try to simplify it a little bit better than these ridiculous groups. So, what's the Vibrant Health Reset?
Well, thank you for asking. It's a 10-day adventure to awesomeness. We're going to be super kind to our bodies for 10 days. And I promise you, you can do these things for 10 days and not die. Although
sure?
Well, I know the coffee part always gets us, right? Yeah. So we're going to add some things in, and we're going to reduce or eliminate things. And what we want you to think about is, if this is brand new to you and it makes you want to run for the room screaming, let's just focus on the add-in.
If you did all the add-ins and none of the reduce or eliminate, you probably would still be kind to your gut and make progress.
Oh my goodness, yes. You're going to take your Juice Plus capsules. You're going to drink 1 to 2 complete shakes every day. You're going to eat more plants. It's magical what plants do for our body. We're going to sleep. We're going to try our best to get at least 7 hours of sleep. We're going to fast when it's dark outside. So in other words, we're going to eat breakfast after the sun comes up, and we're going to eat dinner before, or our last meal before the sun goes down. Because it turns out your metabolism and your gut go along with circadian rhythms.
Did you know that your gut, your microbiome, has a circadian rhythm just like the rest of you? It's
weird.
Fascinating.
It really is. So we're going to encourage you to get your food in when it's sunlight hours. And then we're going to work on getting fermented foods in, and we're going to help you walk through all of this. So if you don't know what it means, you don't know how to do it, no worries. That's what we're here for. Also, we're going to eat more fiber because, again, plants are magical. So you get that fiber in there, it makes your gut happier.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the part that's going to help you, is that one of the things you're going to do every day is connect with your support community. Ta-da! Which is through a Facebook group that we have set up already for our next group. And we're going to hold your hand as much as you want and walk you through it. Now, if you're feeling brave, we're also going to encourage you to reduce or eliminate gluten, dairy, caffeine, alcohol, artificial or refined sugars, processed foods, and vegetable and seed oils. And fun. No, we're not going to do that. And so there's a lot of coaching that we're going to provide for you along the way. What we ask from you is, in order to get the free coaching and for you to get the best results possible, we want you to take the fruit and veggie capsules, and you're going to need to purchase those if you haven't already. And you're going to need 1 pouch of complete or vanilla, chocolate or vanilla complete shakes.
Which are delicious.
They're so yummy. And we do so many yummy things with them other than just making a shake. And so it includes group and individual coaching and support, trackers, recipes, shopping lists, and so much more. Okay, Mindy, Vibrant Health Reset. So we said you have to take the complete and the duo,
which is the red and green.
Mm-hmm.
Fun little capsule bottles.
I mean, if you want to add the purples too, all the better. You're going to do even better. But why do we say that you need to take this? We're just trying to make money off of you.
Yeah, I'm just a money grubbing, dirty, rotten scoundrel. No, we are encouraging this because the research on it is spectacular. I'm a total science nerd, and I make my decisions about my family's health based on science and research. And this stuff has fabulous research. And so this combo of products, the fruit and vegetable, especially with, and then the berries also, when you do that, you're getting more than 30 different plants every day, which we're not counting towards our 30 plants in a week. That's just above and beyond. But these things have been shown in clinical research in humans to decrease bacteroids, increase butyrate, and increase glucose tolerance.
I don't know those words.
Yeah, we're gonna elaborate a little bit.
Thank God.
So decrease bacteroids. What? That sounds like an asteroid or something. And I don't know. I had to look this up the first time I was learning. They are significant clinical pathogens, which still, like, why does medicine have to use such big words? They're bad germs. And
bad guys.
Yes, they are most anaerobic infections. Aerobic means they breathe oxygen. They need oxygen. Anaerobic means they need to not be around oxygen. So these are deep infections usually in your abdomen. And when this group of bacteria takes over your gut, and causes infection, the mortality rate is more than 19%. So these are bad guys that can live in your gut. And normally the good guys kind of crowd them out and don't let them thrive. But bad gut health is going to let them thrive, and then it can be fatal.
I'm picturing plants being like Pac-Man and going and eating up these bacteria.
Yes. No.
Sorry. Not sorry.
Also, this combo increases butyrate.
What?
Why does that matter? What is butyrate? Butyrate is something that your cells in your intestines make based on the nutrition that you give it. So you can't take butyrate. It's something that your cells in your colon create from the phytonutrients, and it's the main energy source for your colon cells. And so if we're not putting any phytonutrients, we're not putting any plants, any fiber into our intestines, they can't make butyrate, which means they don't get 70% of their energy needs, which then makes for a cranky colon. Not fun. And when we're making butyrate, when our colon is happier, that supports our immune system, that reduces inflammation, and that aids in preventing diseases like cancer.
So you've explained it to me. Let me see if I get this.
Yes.
Plants make butyrate, which feeds your colon, which makes your body happy.
Correct.
Okay, there it is in English. You're welcome.
And this is a little bit more about butyrate, what it does. It improves insulin sensitivity. So that means you're going to have a lower risk of type 2 diabetes. Your body's going to use glucose more effectively and not have leftover. Increased metabolism and maintains the gut barrier. You've heard of leaky gut, maybe. Leaky gut can happen because you're not getting these phytonutrients and fiber, and so your body's not making butyrate. It decreases fat storage, yay, and intestinal permeability, leaky gut. It makes so our cells in our gut should stick together and not make holes that stuff can leak through. But when our cells are not happy, it becomes basically a sieve and all sorts of stuff is leaking out of your gut. Bad. Stabilizes blood sugar. It's the preferred source of energy for your colon, and it's a powerful anti-inflammatory. All good things. And then a little bit more about the glucose clearance and why that matters. Your glucose clearance is your body's response to sugar. And that's not just like table sugar. That's fruit has sugar, and those things are good for you. Your body needs glucose, but too much or poor insulin function can be bad for you. So improving your glucose clearance improves metabolism, supports and reduces the risk of insulin resistance, setting you up to hopefully not have type 2 diabetes.
Well, I like that. My dad died from diabetes.
And then this is some examples of some of the resources you're going to get. We've got a grocery list for you. And then here is the checklist, your add in and your reduce and eliminate. And so there's more resources. This is just an example that we wanted to show you. We really are going to walk with you every step of the way and do our best to set you up for success and a happier, healthier gut. So that is the end of our little presentation. And we got some more friends here.
Awesome. We couldn't see your faces, so I see a couple people join. So we're happy to have you. I think we could take a few questions, don't you?
Yeah. Are there any questions that I can help answer?
On the grocery shopping list, it says apple cider vinegar. What is that utilized for, and how do we take that?
Apple cider vinegar is actually a fermented food. So if you look at your apple cider vinegar bottle, it probably says something about the mother on the bottle. And that is, it's live enzymes, probiotic food. And that is one of the fermented foods, and that's something we'll talk about more is how to use those.
You can use it in salad dressing. Some people make a morning drink out of it. So we'll definitely help you navigate all that kind of stuff and figure out where to add it in. I don't know what it does for heartburn, Shelley. But
I wouldn't do it straight. And, we can talk about specific health issues and how to navigate that. But it's one of the fermented foods that helps to support our gut. What else?
Especially there's some of you on that haven't done the reset with us. Did you have any questions? We'd love to answer them. And if you don't want to speak up on a Zoom, I get that. Definitely, if you want to join us, our next reset starts on October 9th. It's for 10 days. And so let the person who invited you know, make sure you have the product that you need to get going on that. And then we'll put you in a Facebook group where Mindy and I and some of the other smart people in there will be coaching you through it and being your cheerleaders. Sometimes, quite frankly, I need a cheerleader because giving up caffeine is stressful to me. But sometimes we just need somebody to hold our hand and help us do it and remind us that we can do it. But really, we just want you to have a health experience. And when you follow all those guidelines for 10 days, you're going to have a health experience and you're going to get the idea of what you could feel like. And then when you commit to doing it every month for 10 days, what I've seen happen I've been doing this for a long time, like well over 10 years. I'm thinking more like 15 years we've been doing this. What accidentally happens is when you do it 10 days a month faithfully, some of those habits kind of start to flow out into the rest of the month. You think, I can do this and I like the way I feel. And especially the reduce and eliminate stuff, when you do that for 10 days and then you start putting it back in again, your body's going to give you immediate feedback about what it's been doing to your body. Maybe you lost some bloating, or acid reflux went away, or you're sleeping better, or you have more energy, and you start putting that stuff back in and you start feeling really sludgy and blah, and you think, I don't like the way I feel. So those are some of the things that I like about it. What about you? Anything you'd want to add to that?
I poop a lot better.
Nurses love to talk about poop.
But it's true. Ever since I had my daughter, that was not something that my body was great at. I had a hard time. Childbirth and pregnancy changed things. And since we started doing this gut reset and adding in more fiber and more fermented foods, my gut is happier. I can tell.
That's wonderful.
All right. Well, we'll wrap up. And then if you have more questions and want to stay on after we end the recording, we can sure do that. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for joining us.